Hey everybody, it's the JVE here with you today, and I'm going to be going over the top lessons that I've learned over the last few years scaling a multi-million-dollar final expense telesales agency. So basically, I recruit and train final expense agents to sell final expense life insurance 100% over the phone. I've recruited thousands of agents, well, probably about 1,000, and hit the subscribe button, turn on post notifications. If you want to learn about working with me here, just email me at jve@thejve.com. If you want a free copy of my script, email me at jve@thejve.com. I'm going to go over with you today the things I've learned in doing that. So first things first is leadership does not happen in a day, it happens daily. And John Maxwell said this, and I read it in a book years ago, but it actually really hits me now because I've seen myself develop over time as a leader. At first, when I started, I was really good at leading myself. I'm always a very motivated person. I keep finding new ways and reasons to show up. And I don't really have to be motivated to show up. Like if I have anything in my teeth, I eat popcorn. So like that's probably what it is. But I don't have to be motivated and super excited to show up every day. I just do it because I'm disciplined. And a lot of people don't have that. So a big thing as being a leader is, as an individual agent, you control your environment. As a leader, you have to show other people how to control their environment. So a challenging thing for people who are in full control of their environments is helping people take control over their environment, helping others. Because a lot of people come to us and their environment controls them, right? They're in effect of it. They got kids, so they can't work, or they got this happening, so they're in a fight with this person, or their grandma's sick or something. Like all these things happen and why they can't work and why they can't be successful. And we all have problems in our lives. Some of us, those problems it's not our problem that is the important thing. It's our reaction to the problem that's important. So your job as a leader is to help people figure out ways to best react to the problems that they have in their life and have them overcome those obstacles. So it doesn't happen overnight. It's frustrating, okay? And what I learned is to just be patient. Be patient with yourself. Be patient with people. It's easier for me to be patient with people than myself. I have like crazy sky-high limit patience with other people. With myself, not so much. This brings me to the next thing of everyone needs to be handled a little differently. So you may have some people that you can be very direct with, some people you can't. Some people may be motivated financially. Some people may be motivated by recognition. Some people, like the paycheck doesn't even matter. It's like, what type of clout am I going to get for it? So there's different ways to lead people. And at first, when you meet someone and you're leading them, they look up to you as a manager. Like they look up to you from a position of authority. And as a leader, you don't want to be someone in a position of authority. You want to be someone in a position of like help, right? You want someone to like gravitate towards you and want to. You don't want to have that like manager mentality. And that's what it is when you start as a leader, because people only look to you from a positional leadership standpoint, right? They only look to you as a leader because you are their upline and like you can tell them what to do, not tell them what to do, but you can help them, and they look to you for guidance, and they kind of have that boss stigma with you. But as you develop and as you help people accomplish their goals and produce results in their life, they start to look at you as a relational leader. So they don't do things because you tell them to do it. They do things because like they want to take your advice. So it's two different things, right? So understand that everybody's got to be handled a little differently, and that people develop kind of like a caterpillar. Like you're going to have like they start off as this caterpillar, right? Or in an egg, and they hatch, they're a caterpillar. And then they go into a chrysalis, and then they become a butterfly. And that's like what you're looking for an agent, like a top producing successful agent, is that butterfly that hatches and flies away. But it was ugly when it was a caterpillar. You couldn't even tell what it was when it was in the chrysalis. And then now you got this amazing agent that's successful. So understand that these things take time to develop, and people take time to develop. Like be ready to tell someone the same thing 10 times. Be ready to take a call at 10 o'clock at night if like to answer the question that you've answered 10 times. Also, don't get into leadership and insurance sales if you can't handle working that much hours to start. Now, there will become a time when you scale out and you don't have to worry about that. But at first, you will be handling late night questions and dealing with all that stuff. Like just about everybody I know who scaled out a huge system, they've been through that, and they're there for people, because it's important that when people are starting, that you're there for them. The next thing that really, really helped, I learned that you have to set a structured training system. So make sure you have video training. Make sure you have like a check sheet. So you have like a piece of paper, and then you have like this, like a line. And it's like, this is how you do this. Do you understand that? This is how you do this. Do you understand that? This is how you do this. Do you understand that? Have it on. I use Google Forms for mine, and it makes it really easy. That way people have videos they can watch, and then they have like a worksheet that they can go back to that gives them like the check boxes that they can check so that they can fully understand the topic. Write out write out worksheets, write out like diagrams and illustrations, and then have your training structured and regimented, because if you just wing it, then it's really hard to be duplicated. So when you get into leadership, you want to be thinking way ahead. Like, what do I want my business to look like 5 years from now? And you want to get there as quick as possible. And I got into the business so that I could make a bunch of money and go kind of do other things and not have to work in my business, but work on it. So the goal is to get to that point where I got a kernel on top of my mouth there. The goal is to get to the point where you are working on your business as fast as possible and not in your business. And you only have to jump into your business when there's an emergency or some random situation or it's just needed because of your role. So write down everything you do to create a duplicatable system. Next, recruit in excess. The only regret I ever have is not recruiting enough people. So you need to hire as many people as possible, because the more people you have, the more numbers that are going to go on that board, the more money you're going to make, and it reduces risk. It's like insurance. So in insurance, the more people that they have who have policies, the less risk the insurance company is taking, right? They want more people because it's less risk, because it's spread out. Same thing with you. Your insurance against your business, your insurance against your insurance agency is having a ton of agents. Because if you only got like, a few agents that are producing a lot, and you lose one or two of them, which will 100% happen because they're going to go to get 0.0005% commission higher somewhere else, or someone else's leads are better, or they get pissed at you, or they're jealous that you're making more money than them or something. They're going to leave and go do something, or they want to sell some other product. Then you have to anticipate that. And if you have a ton of people, if you got 200 active agents, if you got 200 agents writing business for you every week, dude, you can lose. You lose one. It's like you wish them luck. Hey, bro, I wish you the best. It's cool. I hope you crush it. If you only got 20 active agents or 10 active, if you got 10 active agents writing every week or 20, and it's like, dang, I just lost my top producer. There's a big pay cut. So your insurance against your insurance agency is recruiting more people. Next thing, integrity matters. So people need to do what they say. If someone says they're going to do something and they don't, I don't even pay attention to them. And that transcends now into other areas of my life. Like if someone says they're going to change a behavior, or someone says they're going to do something or act a certain way or show up at a certain time or perform a certain action and they don't do it, it's like, dude, whatever. It doesn't really mean anything to me. Because it's like, I show up every day, no matter what, and I do what I say I'm going to do, and I execute. And if someone doesn't do that, I can't rock with them. And that's just how it is. So maybe, at first, I don't know. At first, when you're building the agency, you got to make those exceptions, because you're like, crap, I only got a few agents here. I got to milk this for whatever money I can get. But so integrity is huge. The people this is the thing. You want the best agents are the ones who do what they need to do without you needing to tell them to do it. And they're going to fly under the radar too, so be careful about that. The people who whine, the people who complain, the people who got all these problems, they're going to soak up all your time. So they become your problems. And the people who don't complain, who handle their own problems without having to bring everybody else into them, they fly under the radar sometimes. So you end up spending all this time Dr. Phil sessioning someone who's got these crazy issues, and then all these other people who are just working hard fly under the radar. So make sure that you're putting your time into the right people and you're rewarding the proper behavior. You don't want to end up imagine there's two little kids, and one kid's misbehaving. His parents give him all the attention because he's so bad. The kid doing the right thing, no one pays attention to him, right? So it's he's like, why am I not being a jerk? So then he starts to be a jerk to get attention. So you don't want that. Reward the right behavior. Complainers never make it in this business. Leaders multiply, salespeople add. So if I could go back, and this is, I wanted to build an insurance business, but I didn't take the right actions to start. So what I did when I started is I focused on developing salespeople, which was important. I needed it. I mean, it's hard. It's easier for me to say I'd go back and change it because I do okay now. So it's like, did I really make a bad choice? I don't know. But what I did worked. I guess I would have built salespeople, but also build leaders out of them at the same time. I didn't really focus on leadership development because people have kind of always gravitated towards me to make decisions, and I guess I'm not natural leader, but people have always kind of asked me for advice and looked up to me and stuff in certain things. I didn't really know how to develop that in other people. Sometimes it comes more natural, like being a salesperson can come more natural to some people. But now I know how to develop that in people. So if I could go back, I would have taken my salespeople that started with me and I would have developed them into leaders. 100%. That would have multiplied my organization, because then I can recruit and retain more people, right? Because after you get to about, I don't know, it depends what system you're in, but with ours, because we have to be on top of everybody all the time and they're working. Once we get to about, 30, 40 agents, it's like a lot. I mean, imagine having 30, 40 kids you got to take care of every day. Like, people just fall off. So the attrition gets so high. So the more leaders you have, the more people you're going to be able to scale out with. Like, you can't have 1,000 agents direct to you. It doesn't work that way. You have to scale up. You have to have a leadership team under you, and that'll help you multiply your business. So like, I add one salesperson, I add a salesperson. But if I add a leader, I can add 30 salespeople under them, and way more of them are going to stick than if it was just me. New agents aren't lazy, they're scared, okay? So this is an unpopular opinion I have, but I know I'm right. So new agents are not lazy, they're scared. Now, some agents are lazy, but most of them are just scared when they start. Especially when they start fresh and they don't have the first place, they just got their license, because they worked really hard to get their insurance license. And if they show up and don't do anything, it's not because they're lazy, because that took time, right? They took a lot of work to get their insurance license. It's because they're scared to make a phone call. They're scared to knock on a door. They're scared to talk to strangers. They're scared to fail. They get so scared, they end up failing anyway. So they're scared to mess up, to the point where they mess up because they don't even take the chance to be successful. So make sure you address that. Kill them with kindness. Encouragement. Great job. You're crushing it. Encouragement. No pain, punishment drive. Don't be that leader who's like, if you don't do this, then this is going to happen. Because that's management. You want to lift people up. You don't want to have to drive them all the time. Now, if you have a leadership team under you, then they can maybe be the driver and you can lift them up. But I found that being nice to people and encouraging gets way more long-term production out of them. And also too, not everybody wants to be rich. So you have to understand that everybody's goals are different. If you're getting in the insurance to build an insurance agency, everybody says they want to be rich, but not everybody wants to be rich. Trust me. They don't want to take a phone call. If you can't take a phone call at 10 or 11 o'clock at night from an agent while you're building it, you're not going to make it. So it's like, people want to be rich, but are they going to actually put the actions in? So what I mean by that is that sometimes you're going to have agents who are okay with making 40 grand a year. They're okay with making 50 grand a year. They're okay with making 100 grand a year. And that's awesome. But I'm not. So, and you got to understand that you may want more for your agents than they want for themselves. But if they're happy, let them do their thing. Okay. You got to understand too, there are people who are going to get into this business who are used to making $400, $500, $600 a week. So when they come into insurance, if they get good and they start making $1,000, $1,500, $2,000 a week, $3,000 a week, their life's changed. And they're like, dang, I am balling right now, right? Where most people would think that, but some people watching this video may be like, man, that ain't nothing. If I only made $3,000 a week, I'd be freaking out. So understand that, if they are okay with whatever they're making, congratulate them and encourage them to accomplish whatever their goals are. Don't set goals for people. Let them set them and help them accomplish them. New people are broke too. So it kind of goes on that. Most new agents are broke, so you got to help them make money quickly or they're going to leave. New agent, think about it, most people will work for at the very low end, if they can make $500 a week and then up, usually they'll push through that first couple months that it's crucial. New agents need cash with application sales too. So don't teach people to post-date applications. I did this when I started. It got me in a crazy chargeback mess building an agency. Do not have people post-date apps. Have them get as much cash with application as possible. If they can get 2/3 of their policies as cash with application, that's really, really good. Also, in scaling, you have to give money to make money. So if you have your override, right, the most successful people in this who are making the most money usually have the smallest override, or a smaller override, because they have such a huge amount of production. They have a small piece of a large pond. So don't be afraid to give up some override to let someone else make more money, because you trade override for time, okay? So if you are, this person's not making much money, you're getting a ton of override on them in their team, then you're going to be expected to do more work, or they're going to leave to go somewhere else where they'll make more. But you can give them more of an override, they'll make more money, they do all the work, and then you make money off it, and it's pretty much passive. You don't really have to do anything. So don't be afraid to trade override for time. Also, 3-month return on investment for recruiting. So if you're recruiting agents, it's going to take 3 months before you see a return on that. That's a hard pill to swallow for some agents who just are selling leads, because you buy leads, you generate them, you sell them right there. It's like printing money, right? Buy leads, sell money. Buy leads, sell money. For this, it's like you buy leads for recruiting, and then they have to get licensed, and then, which not everybody's going to finish and get licensed, and then they have to go through training, or they have to get contracted and appointed, and they have to go through training, and then they have to get leads, and they have to like learn, and they have to do all this stuff. So it's usually a few months before you really start seeing money back and getting some return on your investment. And then also, most insurance agents won't make it. You know, there's the 8% nation. There's that whole 8% thing, which says 92% of insurance agents quit in their first year. So I try and I do a good job of changing that stat so that more than 8% of the agents who work with me end up making it through their first year. We have about, at least a few times the national average of insurance. And I would argue nationwide it's less than 8% actually make it. But anyway, we do a good job of that, but still, I'm not going to try to fight that stat. That's a statistic that's held true for like hundreds of years. Why change it? Like, you don't have to be like, the Mother Teresa of life insurance. Just sell more policies. I mean, recruit more agents to sell more policies. That's it. So how do you beat the numbers? Recruit more people. Recruiting will solve every single problem that you have in this business, 100%. Like, there's no problem in insurance that recruiting won't solve. If you're a terrible leader, you recruit enough people, you're going to find a good leader, right? If you don't want to work at all, you're going to recruit enough people, you're going to find someone who's going to want to work. If you're a terrible trainer, you're going to recruit enough people, someone's going to end up being a good trainer. Recruiting solves every single problem that you run into this business, and that's it. So I hope you guys appreciate this video, or hope you like the video. If you did, hit the subscribe button, turn on post notifications. If you want to learn about working with me here, just email me at email me at jve@thejve.com. If you want a free copy of my script, email me at jve@thejve.com. Definitely watch this next video. Thank you.